Everyone, in this video, I will walk you through a sample LangGraph workflow which uses LangChain's structured output. During my walkthrough, I will try to explain why this is really important to use structured output in one of the nodes and how it can really make the flow really smooth and error-free. And easy to handle. So let's go through. I will explain each cell step by step. So first, we will do all the necessary imports. So then we will initialize our model. So I use Grok because it is free of cost. So if you want to understand how to use this API, Grok API for free and its various models, you can check out the link in the description. We have initialized the LLM. Now we try to create an LLM from LangChain, which will return a structured output. So for that, we first define a identity class where we define what fields we want as an output. So in our case, we want in this example of LangChain structured output, we want two different fields in the output. One is search query and second is justification. Both are of string type, and this is a description of each of the fields. Okay, so we have defined our structured LLM. Right now, this is not part of the LangGraph workflow, but this is just to demonstrate how to set up an LLM with structured output. Okay, so we will just simply pass this prompt to this structured LLM. The prompt says, how does calcium CT score relate to high cholesterol? So it will generate an output which will have these two fields. So let's run this and see what the output comes. So if you can see, the output will always be a Pydantic class, which we have converted to a JSON. And for readability purposes, I have given an indentation of 4 also. So you see, search query is this, and this is the justification that it is giving. So it will always give the output in the desired format. Okay. So now let's see how we can integrate or use this efficiently in our LangGraph workflow. So I will try to run through this and see how our graph looks like first, and then I will walk you through each of the steps. Let me run this. So this is our graph where the input will go to extract intent. Then from extract intent, it will go to handle intent and it will end. So the extract intent is a node which will be using a structured LLM where the output is structured, and the output coming out of this will be used here and decided what to do next. Okay, so let me walk you through. So this is the identity class for user intent. Here it is asking for three different fields: task, product name, and urgency. Task is a literal, which means that either of these three values should be returned in the output. It cannot be any random string. Okay. Product name is an optional string, which means it can be none also, or it can be any string value. Urgency is also a literal, which can have only these three values: low, medium, and high. Now we try to define our structured LLM by passing this by identity class. Here, this is a graph state where we have fields user input, which will be the initial state, the intent, which will be of type this, which means it will be a dictionary having these fields, and the final result, which is a string output. Next, fourth step is we define the nodes. First is extract intent. So we simply pass the user input to this intent LLM, which is a structured LLM, and whatever output comes, we save it in the intent field. So always from this LLM, whatever user query we give, the output will always have these three fields. Okay, so which I will show you in once we run it. Next is handle intent. It is just a simple function, hard-coded Python function, just to demonstrate what to do when a certain values are captured in the intent. Okay, so it will tell us that okay whether the intent, the task field of intent is capturing these three values or something else. Okay. Then we build the graph. It is very straightforward graph. We define the two nodes. This is our entry point, extract intent. Then we connect extract intent with handle intent, and handle intent is connected to the end of the graph. And we compile it and run it to see how the graph looks like. So this is the graph. Now let's try to run this and see how this is, the output looks like. So the initial query from user is that can you quickly compare noise earbuds with bot AirPods? This is a user input. The intent was a pydantic class, if you can see here, of type of user intent. The task value was compare, which was one of those three values. Product name can be any string, and urgency is also a literal, which is this value. And based on the task value of the task, this output will be generated. Okay, so we can try for another example also, where we can ask to summarize. Okay, so I, rather than giving summarize, I will give something else so that it is clear that it is still able to capture it. Provide summary of. So here you can see the task it is able to identify as summarize, and then the output, final output is also corresponding to that. So this was a very quick example explaining how structured output can be really helpful in a LangGraph workflow to control the flow in the right direction. Thank you for watching this video.